Okay, today's review is on the LVL UP Pro Gaming headset, Pro Gaming mouse, and the Pro Gaming keyboard. Now, initially when I saw these, I was like, okay, $30 for peripherals, that's kind of a bargain. But then I kind of looked at it some more and I thought, like, how much can they pack into this thing? Like, how much can the manufacturers actually put into these types of products? And it kind of got me thinking about the whole budget peripheral section. So today we're going to take a look at it and give my thoughts. Okay, so the keyboard. First impressions. This thing, yeah, not a big fan. It was about 12 bucks, I believe. And for this, yeah, it just doesn't feel very good. It's membrane switches, obviously. And I actually do want to pull off, let's see, what kind of switches are under here. Yeah, so there's just rubber domes. Can't really see much else. But yeah, these things are just about like the mushiest things you can get. Like, it has pretty much like no actual sound to it. Not even like, there's not even just like a travel. It's just blah, blah, blah. And it just feels horrible to type on. And the spacebar is even worse, actually. The spacebar just feels like it's just traveling through a quicksand or something. It's really bad. The lighting, I will give it that it does look kind of decent, I guess. Does have, it's full size, so yeah, there are a lot of features on it, but the keyboard just doesn't feel very good. Obviously you can't really expect much from $12 keyboard, but I really think that, like, especially the space bar just really ruins it for me. Just, you can't really press it. It takes a ton of force and it's super mushy. It just doesn't feel very good at all. Now, in terms of the overall build quality, this is pretty garbage. You can see the amount of flex in this board is crazy. Oh man, I just turned on my... yeah, the flex in this board is really crazy, and I don't think there's a board with more flex. Like, this is like gymnastic level flex. Damn. Okay, lastly, the headset. I'm hoping that this one was actually going to be kind of decent, the saving grace for the set of peripherals, because it's, I don't know, it just seems kind of hard to mess up a headset, so we're gonna take a look here. Okay, so right off the bat, initial impressions. This just feels like plastic. Oh, I have to use this thing. Okay, so it actually does come with a little headset or microphone on the side, and you have to use this little adapter to actually use it. So let's go ahead. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna put this on first just to see how it feels, because obviously the feel of the headset is very important, and it's got these like a bunch of these foam paddings along the ear cuffs, which is nice, but they do look really short, so I'm wondering if it'll hit my ears or not. Okay, let's see. Alright, this is actually, if I'm gonna be completely honest, it actually doesn't feel too bad. I'm just hoping that the audio is actually going to be somewhat decent. Okay, so after using these headphones, it's like you're at an auditorium or something, and it's like surrounding you, but it's also like super low fidelity. It just sounds like crap, honestly. One thing I do actually want to test is the microphone. The microphone actually might not be too bad. Well, I say that with a grain of salt, because obviously this is like a $10 headset, so can't really expect too much as all of these peripherals go. But initial impressions about the sound and the feel. The feel is actually not too bad. I will give it that. The feel is decent. It's kind of just like surrounding you. It's not really like clamping down or anything. But it just, the sound quality isn't very good. And part of that is because it is so loose on your ears that it just, like, a lot of the sound just, I think, leaks out of the headphones. And that's kind of why it feels like a lot of it is just, a lot of the audio is just kind of lost. Okay, let's go ahead and test out the microphone. I'm going to go ahead and do a recording. I have no idea how this sounds, but I'm not really expecting too much. Hopefully you guys are able to kind of hear it. I'm not going to do any editing of any kind to it, and right now nothing else is running in the background, so I don't have any like fans on or anything like that. So hopefully this audio kind of gives you a sense of what this microphone sounds like, and I hope it's not too bad, and I hope your ears aren't suffering. I actually quite like the design of these. They got these little blue notches and then a blue rim around the earphones, and honestly, I think this one might actually be worth buying. I think it's about $10, and if you're looking for something that's, you know, relatively inexpensive and you're kind of short on money, I think this I think this might actually be a decent buy. Obviously, you're not going to get like anywhere near good sound quality, but if you're just trying to play games with your friends and you don't really care about the audio quality too much, this might actually not be too bad of a buy. Obviously, I haven't tested this thing for a while, I just picked it up. But from what I could tell so far, it's actually pretty decent. Build quality isn't anything special, it's just a bunch of plastic, but overall, I actually quite like these headphones. It's not a bad buy for $10. Okay, the mouse. The mouse was about $8, I think. And right off the bat, the cord was actually bent inside the box, and this was actually due to the design, and the only way it was actually able to be packed inside the box is if the cable was bending. So I can already see it's not doing too well, and it looks pretty frail. This is just about the most plastic, and just it looks and feels like pure plastic. It just doesn't feel very good. The clicks are decent, and it does actually have these finger grooves, what they call like futuristic ergonomic. I don't believe that crap, but pretty much what it means is that it has these little like finger grooves here and like finger grooves on the side to make it a little more comfortable for you to play. And I will admit, it is actually pretty nice. I have that on my Model D here where it has like little finger grooves. Not sure how else to call it, but I'll just use that term for this video. So yeah, it does actually feel kind of decent. Obviously it does feel like plastic, but I guess that is to be expected. Okay, so it has these really heavy switches for the main or left and right click, and it's super heavy. You can probably hear that. It's super loud, and compared to something like my Model O or my Model D, it's just a lot harder to press, and I just don't really like that as much. I would wish would be just a smoother, quicker click. See, squirrel wheel just feels like crap. Feels like something you'd get on like a fake kid's plastic mouse. I don't know. It has a DPI button. DPI button is fine. Changes between 800, 1000, and 1200 DPI. The lighting is okay. It's nothing special. Obviously, it's going to be, you know, kind of RGB for that gamer effect, but you know, it doesn't look too bad actually. However, I actually did experience one huge problem with this, and that's that the tracking on this is absolutely horrible. I would go to like move my mouse across the screen, and like it would just like catch on something. It's like something was like pulling it back towards the other side of the screen. So I don't know, maybe it's just a problem with mine, I'm not sure, but whenever I tried to drag or like move it across, it always seemed to like catch on something. It wasn't like every single time, but it was often enough that it just got really annoying. It wasn't just like a one-time thing, it happened consistently. And I just think it's just not a reason to buy this mouse. It's just complete garbage. So yeah, the rest of it is okay. Like it's USB-A, so nothing special. It's just kind of like every other mouse. Just a simple plastic cord, I guess. And yeah, it's relatively small actually, which might be nice for some people. But it's just kind of plastic crap, honestly. It's just not really worth buying. Now I believe this combo is $36 on Amazon for the keyboard, mouse, and headset, and I picked it up for I think $30 flat at Walgreens. But honestly, I don't think this is going to be worth buying. This isn't, if you're looking for something that's like relatively cheap peripherals, I would actually look at just buying the headset. The headset isn't actually too bad, and I don't know of any other headsets for $10 or any other kind of headset that you can really get for $10 other than say like earbuds with like an actual wired connection. But instead of buying the keyboard and mouse, I would honestly just get something like an office keyboard and mouse set from say Logitech for like $15–20, because realistically you're not really getting much over the office keyboard and mouse. In fact, I'd say you're actually getting more by getting some office keyboard and mouse set, because the keyboard and mouse set can often be cheaper, and if it isn't cheaper, then it's probably going to be higher build quality. If you get something from say Logitech, a lot of them have wireless mice, which is kind of nice, and you don't really have anything that you're losing, because it's still using the same switch. It's still going to be using rubber domes, membrane switches. So honestly, like an office keyboard is probably going to do you better, and Logitech has been kind of a reputable seller in kind of the lower end office keyboard. So I would really strongly recommend looking at them instead of buying this kind of keyboard. It doesn't really make much sense because the build quality is just so low. The mouse obviously has some issues. The keyboard, I wouldn't say has so many like actual pertaining issues, but you know, it doesn't feel great. It's just not a very pleasant experience to type on. And the mouse, obviously, as I mentioned before, there are some problems with it. So just steer clear of the keyboard and mouse entirely. Although I do think that the headset is actually decent for $10. So if you're looking for something that's cheap, pick this up and get an Office keyboard and mouse combo from, say, Logitech. All right, that's all for the peripheral review. If you'd like to buy any of these items, all links will be down in the description below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more tech content, follow me on Twitter at RealBrandonYen for announcements, news, giveaways, and more. All right, see you guys next time.